Stoicism is everywhere. It's the philosophy of choice for Silicon Valley tech bros, Navy SEALs, and productivity gurus. It promises unshakable resilience, perfect clarity, and a solution to all of life's problems. The books are bestsellers, the apps are booming, and the influencers are cashing in. But what if this ancient philosophy has been stripped down, repackaged, and sold back to you as a cheap self-help product? What if the version of Stoicism you know is a modern-day scam, one that ignores the real, radical, and difficult heart of the philosophy? In this video, we're not attacking the ancient Stoics. We're investigating how their profound wisdom was turned into a billion-dollar brand and what was lost in translation. First, let's be clear. The resurgence of interest in Stoic ideas is real. Penguin Random House sold 12,000 copies of Marcus Aurelius's Meditations in 2012. By 2019, that number exploded to 100,000 copies. Online communities and conferences like Stoicon have millions of followers. The appeal is obvious. In a complex, chaotic world, Stoicism offers a binary razor. Epictetus's dichotomy of control, the idea that some things are up to us and others are not, is a simple, powerful tool for cutting through anxiety. This message has been brilliantly marketed by figures like Ryan Holiday, whose book The Obstacle is the Way frames Stoicism as a tool for relentless performance and success. But this is where critics see the first sign of the scam. As philosopher Massimo Pigliucci notes, this commercial success often draws sneers from academics and purists. The criticism isn't necessarily about making money from philosophy. The ancient Stoics did that too. The problem is oversimplification and commodification. Is the goal to live a virtuous life, or to become more productive so you can close your next deal? This shift in focus from ethics to efficiency is a fundamental betrayal of the original philosophy. The core criticisms. Deconstructing the scam. So, let's break down the specific accusations that form the scam narrative. Criticism number 1. It's a philosophy of emotional suppression and passivity. The biggest misconception is that Stoicism is about being an unfeeling rock. The modern, corporate-friendly version can be twisted to mean you should just suck it up and endure unfairness, poverty, or burnout without complaint. Critics argue this makes it a perfect philosophy for maintaining the status quo. It tells the individual to adapt to a broken system rather than to change it. The rebuttal. This is a profound misreading. The Stoics weren't against emotion. They were against irrational and destructive passions. The goal was to achieve emotional intelligence, not to eliminate emotion. Furthermore, the historical record is full of proactive Stoics. Cato the Younger picked up arms against Caesar's tyranny. Marcus Aurelius, while leading military campaigns, passed laws to improve the conditions of women and slaves. The Stoics introduced the revolutionary and dangerous idea of cosmopolitanism, that we are all citizens of the world, which is hardly a quietist notion. Criticism number 2. It promotes emotional detachment from loved ones. Critics like Michael Gibson claim Stoics cultivate moral and therefore emotional detachment from family and friends, seeing them as indifferent. This would paint a portrait of a life not worth living. The rebuttal. This is easily refuted by the Stoics' own words. Seneca wrote extensively on friendship, stating, "Ponder for a long time whether you shall admit a given person to your friendship. But when you have decided to admit him, welcome him with all your heart and soul." The Stoic concept of preferred indifference means that while health, wealth, and relationships don't determine your moral worth, your virtue, they are naturally preferable and to be cherished. You can love your family deeply without basing your entire moral character on their existence. Criticism number 3. It's being sold as a cure-all. Modern Stoicism is often presented as a one-size-fits-all solution to mental health problems. This is dangerous. While Stoicism influenced cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, it is not a substitute for professional therapy or medical treatment for conditions like clinical depression. To blame the philosophy for a tragic event like a suicide, as some critics have clumsily done, is intellectually dishonest and ignores the complexity of mental illness. Part 3. The historical and philosophical depth everyone ignores. The modern scam works because it ignores 90% of what Stoicism actually is. The ancient Stoics built a complete philosophical system with 3 interconnected parts. Logic. The Stoics, particularly Chrysippus, were masters of logic. They developed a complex system of propositional logic to understand how to reason correctly and avoid false impressions. Physics. Their study of nature was essentially their theology and cosmology. They believed the universe was governed by a rational principle, the logos, and that to live virtuously was to live in accordance with this natural order. Ethics. This was the ultimate goal, but it was built upon the foundation of logic and physics. You couldn't be virtuous without understanding the world through logic and your role in it through physics. The modern self-help version sells you the ethics without the rigorous intellectual training required to understand it properly. It's like being given the answers to a test without being taught the subject. Part 4. A more nuanced verdict. 8 to 9:30. Host. So, is Stoicism a scam? The answer is more nuanced than a simple yes or no. The ancient philosophy itself? Not a scam. It's a rigorous, complex, and profound system of thought developed over centuries by some of the ancient world's brightest minds. The modern, watered-down, commercialized version? Arguably, yes. When it's stripped of its depth, sold as a simple life hack for success, and used to promote emotional numbness, it becomes a scam. A hollow imitation of the real thing. The real tragedy isn't that people are reading Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus. The tragedy is that they might be doing it for the wrong reasons and with a shallow understanding, missing the true transformative point. That philosophy is a tool for building character, not just wealth, for pursuing justice, not just personal peace, and for engaging with the world as a compassionate, rational citizen, not retreating from it as a detached, unfeeling observer. The goal is not to be a rock, but to be a human being. What do you think? Is modern Stoicism an empowering philosophy or a commercial scam? Have you encountered these criticisms before? Let's have a thoughtful discussion in the comments below. If you want to go deeper, check out the works of academics like Massimo Pigliucci or John Sellers, who explore Stoicism with the nuance it deserves. Thanks for watching.